My name's Suzanne. I was diagnosed with MS 3 years ago.
And my name's Mark, I'm Suzanne's husband. We'll be riding with you this year in the Brissie to Bay bike ride for MS, but it's not our first year. In actual fact, our first year was 2014. This was about a year after Suzanne was first diagnosed with MS. As time went on, we realised that there was this thing called the Brissie to the Bay, and what this ride was about supporting people with MS and raising money for people with MS. And at about that time I thought to myself, well, that would be a good thing to do. It would allow the boys, my sons, Jake and Ben and I, to show some support for Suzanne and what she was going through at the time. We found ourselves out riding a lot in that 6 months leading up to the first Brissie to the Bay. And I recall that while we were doing the ride that morning, my boys started complaining about how much it was hurting. The hills were hurting their legs. And I said to both of them, I said, the lactic acid that's building in your legs right now is causing you pain. And that's a reminder that you have two perfectly good legs, which is a privilege denied to many, particularly with MS. I said, that's why we're riding. We decided that on the day of the ride, we would have a little bit of a tribute for Suzanne, as well as to thank our sponsors. I put together some signs, 3 signs, and we were going to display these signs on the day of the ride, not knowing what we were up for. We set up in the front yard and I said, okay, this is what's going to happen. We positioned our bikes in the position we were going to do, and I said, at some stage we're going to get a team photo and Mum's going to take the photo, and at that time we'll produce these signs and we'll get this lovely photo. The signs that I prepared was a sign from me which read, I'm riding for my wife. And the boys each had a sign that said riding for my mum. So just before the ride commenced, I said to Suzanne, I said, well, would you take a team photo for me? She said, yeah, of course. I handed her the camera. As she lifted the camera up to take the photo, we 3 of us produced these signs, and of course, the rest is history. Suzanne instantly broke out in tears. That started me going.
When I looked through the camera at what everybody had written, it was very touching. It was extremely emotional, and as you remember, I turned around, I couldn't take the photo. It was extremely emotional. Because I knew you were doing it for me. But it was really touching. Thank you. And sadly, the photo shows us all crying. It should have been a happy photo, but yeah.
It's a good photo.
It's a good photo.
I thought to myself, why do we support each other like we do? And I happened to be going through photos and I found a wedding photo of ours. So I posted the wedding photo on Facebook, and I said the words, why am I riding for MS? Why am I raising money? Because on the day this photo was taken, I said the words, in sickness and in health, and left it at that. And I think we raised several $100s just from that alone. And at the end of the day, that's the message.
Yeah.
We're in it together.
Yeah.
The Brissie to the Bay has given back to us more than we could ever give in terms of raising money. We are the recipients of this ride. We are not the givers. We try and raise every single cent we can because we have been on the receiving end, and we will continue to do that until the last dollar we can extract from our supporters. But we have received tenfold more than we ever could support MS Queensland in what they do best, and that's help people with MS.